Hi there, I'm Mark Yarnell, author of Your First Year in Network Marketing. Maybe you've heard of that book, maybe you have. It doesn't really matter. Everywhere I go, people ask me because they've read the book, what would you say are the primary criteria for success in the industry of professional networking? And that's a very easy thing to answer. First of all, you look at a company like Qivana, and really the question is, why Qivana? Why, Mark Yarnell, are you doing Qivana as your last run in networking after all the money you've made and everything? Well, here's why. If you ask the hardest questions, how good is the product? And you've got science like the Qivana doctors have provided us, double-blind studies, peer-reviewed articles in major medical journals. If there's a hard scientific basis for all of the products that you're marketing, that's a tremendous advantage. That's number one, why Qivana now, why I'm doing it. But you know what, when you're first to market with those products and you're not in a competitive environment where you're maybe third or fourth to market, that takes those scientifically documented wonderful products a step further. First to market. That's why Qivana for me right now. The third thing is you look at the management team. You know, when Jerry first called me, and remember, Jerry and I go back, gosh, 25 years. We have traveled the world together representing another company that did very, very well. We experienced hyper growth and momentum. So when Jerry called me and he started describing the management team at Qivana, I said, Jerry, you know, I love you like a brother and I trust you, but you're talking like these guys are really that powerful. I want to meet them. So my wife and I got on an airplane, and I'm happy to say that the third thing came true, and that is the ultimate management team. People who have either run multi-billion-dollar corporations and understand exactly how to handle that kind of company, but also people who have managed actual hyper-growth and momentum for great networking companies. Companies I could mention, you've heard of them. The point is, you've got 5 owners, and this was the third criteria for me in the question, why Qivana now? 5 owners who are all very, very significant experts in a multitude of different fields that are launching this company. And then you look at the compensation structure. I do. I didn't understand this one at first because what Jerry and the people who worked together to create this came up with was a cross-platform idea that embodied all of the best elements of the best 3 or 4 product opportunity comp plans I'd ever seen. So it was hard at first for me to even understand how in the world they took the best of every platform out there and created a cross-platform compensation structure. But when it finally sunk in, I thought, oh my gosh, not only do we have products that are scientific-based, first to market, an ethical management team with lots of experience, but we've also got a compensation plan that's all of the good and none of the bad. I literally couldn't believe it. But I'm going to tell you something. I've saved the best criteria for last. It's something we've all heard of. It's called timing. Now, people say, Yarnell, is there any secret? Is there any magic to success? You've made a lot of money in the industry. You've written books and magazine articles for years. Is there a trick? I'm going to tell you the truth you don't hear from most leaders because there is one unbelievable trick. And it's an answer to the question, why Qivana now? Timing. Timing is literally everything. When Jerry first told me how many people were in this business, I was completely shell-shocked. So I started calling around the people that were veterans that I knew paid real close attention to this profession. And I asked them one at a time, what do you know about Qivana? And they all said, without exception, what? How do you spell it? I actually had to spell the name of the company. I said, you see, to all my friends, I said, you see what I'm saying? This isn't ground floor. We haven't even climbed up the steps from the sub-basement to the first floor yet. That's why Qivana is so remarkable. And if that weren't enough, I got to thinking, how much fun Jerry and I had traveling the world together because we got in early in that other great company way back in the late 80s. Qivana hasn't even entered foreign markets yet, although they're poised to do so. You know, a lot of people also ask me, Mark, Is it your ability to go after big hitters and players and business people from all fields because you're a noted author that allows you to succeed so much? I mean, you're now joining Qivana. It's going to be your last run in life in business. You trust Jerry Campese. You've worked with him for years. He's the one that got you involved. But aren't you going to have a bit of an advantage because you know so many people and you go after them? And the answer is absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I go after people who have a goal bigger than themselves, not people who talk a good game. You know, to me, leadership has always been defined, or a leader has always been defined as anyone who consistently demonstrates what's possible. Talk's cheap. I look for people with goals bigger than themselves. In fact, what I'd like to do to close this off in explaining why Qivana now is I would like you to understand two things about my world. First, I live in an environment that is really a dream environment. From paragliding to trout fishing on a regular basis, thanks to this industry, I can honestly say that every day since late 1986, I have gotten out of bed in the morning and made a determination right then what I was going to do for the whole day. I've had no boss, I've had no employees, no overhead, no accounts receivable, no warehousing. I don't fight traffic. In fact, traffic is my motivator. Valerie teases me. My wife says, "Why do you do that?" Because I want to remember how horribly most people find themselves in life, in the predicament they're in. You know what I do? Once a month, I go out and I get in my truck at 5 o'clock in the evening, and I drive 10 miles in any direction, just so I can fight traffic for 30 minutes and remember why I do home business, why I do Qivana. So I want you to know two things. One is my environment has been wonderful. My lifestyle's been absolutely fabulous. But the second thing is the quality of people I'm looking for are men and women who have goals bigger than themselves. I've already got my perfect environment. It's not about making another big pile of money, although I like money. It's about taking quality people, especially in the early stages of one of these ground floor opportunities, and introducing them to the joy and the serenity and the fulfillment I've experienced as a direct result of this industry. I want you to meet one of them right now. In fact, Christine was the first person we brought into Qivana not a month ago. See if you think maybe she's got a bigger goal than herself. See if maybe she has a reason to do Qivana, as do we. Because Christine, like so many other wonderful people from a multitude of different fields, are joining Qivana on the very ground floor in order to take a legitimate product directly from producer to consumer at reasonable prices to transform this world in tremendously positive ways. I'm Mark Yarnell. I thank you for visiting me in my beautiful home. I hope you'll get back to the person who directed you to this website and this information, however you received it, because they're on our Qivana team.